All right, let's talk more about Lorwyn. Lorwyn Eclipsed does something I like to fairies, to most of them at least. And I think it's in a response to like Eldraine's Fae, especially their blue Fae. They were always sort of insectile. They always had like insect wings, they had antenna, they had like insect legs. But other than that, they were sort of humanoid still. But this time around, the majority of them are much more insectile. Some of them still lean sort of more humanoid, but I think it's a nice change to distinguish them from other plains fairies. The Flamekin added the Rhymekin as like a variation on themselves. According to the Planeswalker's Guide, this was sort of a reaction to the Phyrexian invasion and also to having become cinders. But what's interesting about Rhymekin is that they're not exclusive to Shadowmoor. Rhymekin aren't just the Shadowmoor version of Flamekin. They're just another state of being that Flamekin can attain. And it actually sort of follows up on some lore from the original Lorwyn about how Flamekin can achieve like these different levels of flame, and blue was sort of this mysterious rumored one. Lochmare is sort of a fun nod to the actual Kelpie. In the original Lorwyn, there were sort of these monstrosities. So it's nice to see like a more traditional Kelpie in action. They're like shape-shifting water horses. I think there's one that makes a big splash in Delicious in Dungeon, if you watch that. Noggle the Mind is really funny because it shows what I believe is a Kithkin based on the clothing getting changed into a Noggle. And it makes me wonder, like, is there deeper lore here? Are the Noggles on Shadowmoor just cursed Kithkin? It's an interesting thought. There's nothing canonical about this thought, but it is an interesting one. Maybe that's sort of also what's going on with Hobgoblin and all these other different creature types that only exist on Shadowmoor, but not Lorwyn. Maybe they're curses or variants of some kind. What's really unexpected about unexpected assistance is, a lot of people have pointed this out since the art was previewed, but there's a frog here, but it's a frog wielding a sword and shield and wearing a little bit of clothes. I think that's a Bloomburrow guy. Bitter Bloom Bearer is very obviously a reference to the incredibly famous card Bitter Blossom. There's a few examples of this, of like famous effects from Lorwyn and Shadowmoor being put on a creature or vice versa. I love Boggart Mischief here. It is a new Boggart Shenanigans, and it really makes me want to build a black-red goblin deck. I just wish Grub called to me a little more. Mornsong Aria is that vice versa I just mentioned. This is Marilyn of the Mornsong's ability and cost on just a legendary enchantment. And finally, last for today, I want to talk about the Boggarts a little bit. I love that they kept these weirdos so diverse. Some of them have like dog-like features, a lot of them have pig-like features, a lot of the ones that don't have either look like Muppets. It is exactly sort of the weirdo flavor I wanted from Lorwyn goblins coming back to the plane.